Hi everybody. Guys, Marlo is building a house. Marlo is building a house, but nobody knows how Marlo makes money. And the nice thing about the Atlanta housewives is that they're not scared to ask questions. It's not like the Durban housewives where nobody asks questions as to how you make your money. Atlanta Uyithathaphi imali. Anyway, you guys, igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyayifunde incwadi ebhalwe ngolimi lwethu lesiZulu bese siza la sizokhuluma ngazo le incwadi sesifundile senzela labo abangenazo isikhathi sokuyifunda nalabo abanqenayo ukufunda. Siyaphinda futhi sibuka ama reality shows ethala eMzansi. Well, nawa ngale bese siza la sokhuluma ngawo lama shows, senze ama reviews ama recaps bese siyaphinda futhi sikhuluma nga any other issues avuka uma ngabe lama shows sesiwabukile kwi-TV. Uma uyaqala ukujoina namhlanje and you really like our content, do not forget to press the subscribe button la ngezansi bese uyaphinda futhi upressa i-notification bell la eceleni kuka-subscribe ukuze phela uthole umyalezo uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiwufakile. Namhlanje senza, what episode is this? Is this episode 4 of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14? You know, it's been on for a long time, you guys, the Real Housewives. So as we all know, Marlo has a pitch now. So Marlo is busy because Marlo knows the assignment, knows but when you get a pitch, finally you have to have a storyline, and she's building a house for herself, and the house has so many closets. When I saw the plan, indlu has more closets than it does bedrooms, and one of the closets is so much bigger than her bedroom. She really has her priorities straight to Marlo. Yeah, well, it's closets. You know, I don't know. I think I'm a closet. Actually, I plan about 4 or 5, and then there's one that is right next to her bedroom, and it's bigger than the bedroom itself. You know, and we all know she's crazy about clothes, so maybe that's why. And I guess here she was meeting with the guys that are working on her house, and ubize Kenya beno Shirei. She says she feels like they're the best people to give her advice because they've built their house. We know, guys, Shirei has been building a house for the last 15 years, even more. Jamasuki is in 14, and it means she's been building a house for 20 years. Anyway, you guys, they just come, she's just showing them the plan of the house. Nabo bamangele ukuthi manje i-closet yakho yankulu kune bedroom yakho kanjani manje kwenzeka kanjani? How does that happen? I think it's funny, you guys. Anyway, yeah, they're talking about how the house is going to look. They seem to, both of them, to think it's going to be a beautiful house. And then the next thing, it was Todd, no Lokuzana, no Todd Beno Candy, and they're talking about the fact that they will be taking a trip to New York. Apparently, Candy has a play that she's doing in New York, so all of the ladies and their husbands or boyfriends are going there. And Todd is talking about the fact that Todd has an apartment that he bought while he was with someone else before Candy, and then when they broke up, this ex continued to stay in this apartment, and then at some point abandoned it, stopped paying rent on it, and then Todd took over because you know. So now he wants to fix the apartment so that him and Candy can use the apartment, and maybe one of the kids can use the apartment. I think it's a good idea, you guys. Why get rid of the property? You know, owning a property is never a bad thing. But Candy is having issues with this particular apartment because she feels like it's an apartment that Todd owned with an ex, so he must get rid of it. I don't think that he should, you guys. He must just fix it up, even if he rents it out, you know. Yeah. Anyway, so they're going to go see the apartment too as part of their trip to New York. And the next thing, it was Ralph, but not true. Their house, they have a beautiful house, because I've always been wondering what Ralph wenzani. Apparently does something that has to do with technology, I think, but he works from the house. They both work from the house, and they have a counseling session, a face-to-face counseling session. I think they've been doing sessions online. So the counselor comes and then the gaslighting begins. Oh, Ralph, you guys, I don't think that Ralph respects Drew, but I don't think that Ralph understands that he doesn't respect Drew. I don't think that he's intentionally not respecting Drew. I think he's just like that. He's disrespectful, disregards her feelings, and gaslights her, my koloma. It's really just cringy to watch. Even the session, yeah, their counseling session, it's really just cringy to watch. I wonder how Drew has survived that marriage for as long as she has. But she looks like she's, it's like this is her last attempt, honestly, to fix her marriage, but she's willing to do whatever it is that she needs to do. The counselor is talking about the fact that he feels like they attack each other when they talk, so he wants them to make a deal that for the next 30 days they're not going to do that. Like, they're going to treat each other with kindness, and they're going to have this thing that if one person attacks the other, then the other person will decide what the other one will do for them for the next 24 hours. So I don't know if it's gonna work, you guys, especially since they have this trip to New York. But both of them seem like committed to, I guess they both do want their marriage to work, because Ralph Knight does attend my counseling sessions. I think part of it is just his personality, like that's who he is, and I don't know if Drew is gonna be able to live with that for the rest of her life. Like, he doesn't see anything wrong with the stuff that he does, with the things that he says to his wife. It makes me sad, you guys, because I think they are a beautiful couple, but I don't think that the relationship right now works. So I don't even know that there is hope for them in the future, ukuthi umshado wabo ube right in the future, and it makes me sad. It really makes me sad, because they do have kids. I think they have one child together, and then Drew has a son that she had before they got married, and Ralph has been the father to that boy as well. So it really would be like if they got a divorce, it wouldn't be great for their family. I think I wish that they could work it out, but I do feel like it would be difficult to do it with indlela uRalph acta ngayo. And when the session ends, bevumelene ukuthi they're gonna try for the next 30 days ukuthi banga-attackani when they talk to each other. And I think really following that, they do try to understand each other, and they speak to each other calmly, even though some of the stuff might be tempting ukuthi ube heated. I think they really tried. They were trying in that trip to New York. And then the next thing, it was Brooklyn with Kenya. Kenya is packing for New York, and Brooklyn is helping her. And then Ukendi was sending them an invitation to the play. And we know Ukendi, a lot of the times, tricks I have to do with sexual freedom or whatever. So she sends this these two, I don't know if they're actors or something, hardly ever dressed with anything, like they were dressed like they're going to the dungeon. When you remember when they did the dungeon play, they look like that. So, and we know Ukendi has a bedroom line, like what do you call it, toys, sex toys line. And I think she had some of her products. Like Ukende is really good at promoting her businesses when it's the season. The season is not going to end without Candy promoting the stuff that she's doing. She really knows how to use the show. So she's got some of her products and the invitation to whatever, the play, to the trip, to the play, and goes to everybody's house except for Marlo, which made me think maybe the others don't know where Marlo lives. Is she keeping it a secret? Because I don't think have they been to her house. I don't remember anybody being at Marlo's house, but it went to everybody. They went to everybody's house to deliver the invitation. The others just took it like, oh, it's candy, freaky stuff, whatever. And I think Kenya was the one that was like feeling like she's offended by it. So she sent half-naked people to her yard or whatever. I really feel like Kenya is about to lose a really good friend in Candy, because she is being unnecessarily shady to Candy, who is the only like genuine friend to Kenya, who was her friend when a lot of people didn't really like Kenya. I'm not understanding why she's doing that with Kenya this time. So then the next thing, they're riding to New York. They're in the same nice fancy bus, all of them together. So there's no issues of why are these people flying first class and why are these people taking it quantum, no issues. They're all in the bus, all of them with their husbands. Kenya again has an issue with the fact that the trip is turning out to be a couple's trip when she wasn't told. I didn't think Ukenya did say, if you have a partner, bring a partner. And obviously Ukenya doesn't have a partner. So who will she have brought? Ukenya said it's a couple's trip. I think she just said, if you want to bring a partner, bring a partner. But she knew Ukenya doesn't have a partner. Or she wanted to bring Mark. So then she had a problem with that, because why wasn't she told that this was a couple's trip? But the thing about Ukenya that I didn't like is that she also doesn't talk to Ukendi about it. She says it in a diary session, because I feel like they're friends. Why are you not talking to your friend about it? Just talk to your friend and say, how but why ungasangitsheli ukuthi kanti nihamba nama boyfriends nama bani, so that I just know ukuthi mina ngizobe ngiyi-one but nihamba nabantu beni. Is she the only one without umuntu? No, Shiree as well, but Shiree's boyfriend, the one that was in jail, that just came out on parole, is supposed to come to New York to see her. Yeah, but we'll end it like that. We know it doesn't happen. But yeah, so it's her and Shiree who don't have partners. Who else doesn't have a partner? Because Drew has, Sonia has, oh yes, and Marlo. Oh, she's not the only one in Kenya that doesn't have a partner. Marlo as well doesn't have a partner. I think when you've just gone through a breakup, usuke miserable nje. Abantu abathandanayo nje bayacasula nje ukuthi buka le thandani lezi yazi ngabathela ngenhlabathi. Ufila kanjalo but when you've just gone through breakup nje uthando nje lekucika nje. And then when they get there, yes, when they get there, because obviously kunama penthouse suites, and but it's not for all of them. So one was taken by Ukendi, not Todd, because obviously they're the ones that planned the trip, and then the other one, they said they're going to run a competition to see who's gonna get it, and then the rest of them were just going to get the normal rooms, I guess, in the hotel where they were, I'm guessing. So then they say they wanna hear the most what the best sex story. Who has the best sex story? So they make up stories. The story that they talked about were not true, because this is not true. uMarlo said she once had an experience at the zoo, and the giraffe was licking her face. I'm like, Marlo. Everyone was like, Marlo. That is not true. Shiree says it was at the pool in Miami with everybody there, and they were like, Shiree, that was in a movie. That was not you. And then Ralph said they were at the beach with the whale. I'm like, we whaling at the beach? No. Shiree was like, no. And then Ukenya said they went somewhere where there was coyotes and whatever, some scary in the forest, and there was a trail of blood. I'm like, and then they ended up, and then everyone was like, that is not true, Kenya, but it's okay, you can have the sweet. I think honestly they were just thinking Kenya is going through a divorce, because she is going through a hard time with fighting her ex-husband Mark. Apparently he wants an alimony and whatever, he wants the 50%, just like Mohale. So maybe they just thought, let her have the sweet anyway. And then the next thing, they're getting ready because they're going to go have lunch. But before they go and have lunch, bazohamba baya kwi-apartment le uThoda bekhuluma ngayo to see it and see if Candy has anything to worry about. They get ready with Sonia with the hubby. They're just talking about the apartment. They're talking about fight ka Shiree kanye no Drew. Remember at the party yengane they were fighting about the assistant that said things about Shiree but also said things about Drew. And then they also show Marlo and Shiree getting ready because they're going to go for lunch, and then they all go there. The apartment, you guys, it looks like an apartment that where nobody has stayed there. It does look like, okay, nobody has stayed here. It's run down, but it looks like it could really just be fixed up and be a beautiful place. I understand why Todd wants to keep the place. I also understand why Candy doesn't want to live in the place, because Todd used to share it with an ex, but I don't understand her wanting him to get rid of the place. And as she says, when she comes to New York, she wants to stay in the hotel and go back. She doesn't want to stay in the place that they own. but it doesn't mean that they must get rid of. Everybody agreed with it. This place, you can fix it up, even nice. But then the ladies are being shady. They're like, hey, Klappe Pelutay Dilana has done some, funny stuff and all of that. And there's an underhanded shade. Uthod has cheated on Candy, but I think that nobody has evidence of that. They just think because he travels a lot to New York, and I think New York is where he is from, and he goes there a lot. He hangs out with his friends in the clubs there, and people always assume that he gets up to no good when he's there. And I don't think that he does. But then at the same time, with this husband, sometimes they spend seasons on the show, and then one year it comes out that the guy was cheating. I always think that it's so hard to cheat when you're on these reality shows, because people know you. You've seen with somebody, they're going to take a photo or a video of you somewhere. So it would be hard to hide it. But people seem to think that of thought. I personally don't think that it's true. Anyway, then they go to have lunch. Beautiful. The food is pre-ordered. That's what Candy said. And someone asked Candy, why is she not wearing the ring? And she says, ring sometimes I. And then Todd is wearing the ring, and then it moves to Drew. Why I the ring? Drew says, why keep her when she was pregnant, because it was small, being pincher. And then after she gave birth, they were having problems with Ralph, so it just didn't make sense for her to put it back. So she just hasn't put it back. No Ralph naye akayifakile ring. So I don't know. I guess they do think ukuthi umshado wabo is moving towards, they on the last run. It's the last round. So in last round, you really don't even need to wear the ring for it. Maybe, I don't know, you guys. And I guess the way everyone was trying to understand what issues that Udru is having with Ralph, and Ukenya feels like Ralph reminds her of Mark. And I do understand that, because Mark and I used to gaslight Ukenya a lot. But I do feel like if you've been married for Ukenya was married for a very short time, I don't think that anybody wants to listen to your advice about marriage. I really just don't think so. And at some point, Ukenya says, Ralph was talking to Drew, and Ukenya was like, if my husband spoke to me like that, I will flip the table. And I'm like, but Kenya, we saw Mike talk to you like that all the time on the show, and you never flipped any table. We've already seen it. You never flipped any table. So it's like, it's easy when you look at somebody's marriage to say, I wouldn't allow that, I wouldn't act like that, But when you're in the situation, it's different. She's been in the situation. We've seen her on the show being treated unkind by her husband, and she never flipped no table. It was like we were watching someone else, not the Kenya that we know. So, yeah. But anyway, I do agree with the fact that there are similarities between Ralph and Mark, but I just don't think that Kenya has so much wisdom when it comes to marriage, because she's still trying to get out of her marriage, and she's not succeeding right now, And yeah, and then it comes down to, they were saying something like, because someone made a point to say, you know what, Drew, we can blame Ralph for the way that he treats you, but you allow him, he will treat you the way that you allow him to treat you. So if you accept certain treatment, then it's going to continue. And then someone else, I think Ukenya said, and also not everything is Ralph's fault, because now I've been in fights with you and you don't let go of stuff, and I feel like sometimes that contributes to your marriage as well. So in defending herself, she says, but guys, sometimes I have to defend myself. If you start something, for an example, Shirei says something about my husband, that I would have to defend myself, do everything I can to defend my marriage and defend my husband. And then Sheree says, no, but I didn't make up the stuff that I was saying about your husband. I was telling you what the assistant said about your husband. She's like, Utru is like, but you don't have proof. And then Sheree is like, no, but I do have proof. And she ended up showing her the text messages that the assistant had sent to her, talking about Drew's husband and saying that her husband is gay. She's like, he's even told me that your husband is gay. I don't know if it was necessary for Sheree to bring those receipts at the table, but I do feel like if Sheree has brought those receipts at the table, she must be ready for a comeback, because one thing, Utru is going to go and look for something. And I think that because a lot of people have spoken about Sheree not paying people, I feel like there's a lot of people out there that have not been paid by Sheree. And I think I would have just let this one go so that it doesn't continue. And I think we're going to see more receipts right here. Ralph looked very disappointed, you guys. Drew looked very disappointed. I don't think, honestly, it's an offense to call somebody gay at this point, in 2022. But I do feel like in this case they meant it as an insult to say he's gay, so why is he married to Drew? I don't know how that conversation is gonna continue, but it ends there, ne? Yes, it ended there. I think it ended there. Did it? Yeah, it ended there. Yeah, anyway, you guys, I don't know. I think what I don't like about this season is what's going on between Kenya and Candy, because I really love their friendship, and it looks like in the next episode we're gonna see Kenya coming even more for Candy. And I hate that, because I feel like Candy has been there for Kenya so many times, but that's Real Housewives, you guys. Friendships are here and then friendships are gone, Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're watching this season because it's really fun. I will post on the community post where you can get to watch the actual episodes. Anyway, please share this video with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers.